I do have a studio audience. Give me a second.
All right, nice.
Yeah, there they are. What is up, Troy?
What's going on?
Welcome. This is MuseMe TV, podcast number 70.
Nice.
You're number 70, so thank you very much. Before we start, I do have to do a quick little adjustment. If you see on the TV, it has like a mirror image of us.
Yeah.
We're going to switch that so that they can read everything that happens.
Oh, perfect.
It's actually not eligible, or it's legible for people to read. But Troy Willson.
Yes, sir.
What's up, man? Thank you
much.
for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem. This is pretty much just a random, informal podcast. We're here to talk, have a conversation, any ideas, anything. I want to know about you. I'm here to find out about Troy.
Oh God, are you sure you want to open that Pandora's box?
We're going in deep already.
Oh man.
So tell me about yourself, Troy. You're actually a comedian. You've been doing comedy for a while now.
5 years, yeah.
Nice.
5 years hard.
Yeah. So what does that actually entail? Constant grinding and open mics?
Yeah,
Constantly
and
trying to get shows?
you hear people talking about grinding, and grinding's hustling, different for everybody, but if you break it down, it's like 3 to 4 times out a week.
Okay.
For every day for 5 years.
That's kind of when I first got into the comedy scene, it was kind of not. It was weird to think about that. Like, it's practice in a way where you have to practice on stage.
Yeah, you can't have your friends over. Hey, come watch us practice music
In my room, yeah.
It's
not as great.
And then you fuck up riffs. You're like, hold on, let's start over, guys.
Yeah.
But that's what being a comedian is. Like, you have to stumble and fall and do all that stuff in front of people in order to know what's going to be good,
And that's pretty crazy because people that are good at it kind of take that feedback. They're just like, I fucked up. They didn't laugh, or this wasn't as great as I thought it was. Let's go back to the drawing board, bring it back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because I've heard it where people actually are trying to bring back that same joke, a little tweak, maybe something a little different that appeals to whoever audience they're trying to go for.
Everybody's got their own strategy how to do comedy, and that's part of it, finding your voice. There's definitely best practices,
I do like, what are some practices then that can happen? Because I know there are just writing. You just have to sit down and write just to get jokes out.
Yeah. I mean, some people are just naturally funny, and some people are natural performers, and somebody who's naturally funny and who's a natural performer, you put them in this, they're going to excel at it right away, because they already have those skills, but it's definitely, you can definitely work at it and acquire those skills. You said best practices. One thing I would highly recommend is to record every set. And then watch it back and critique yourself. You keep track of the jokes that get laughs. Keep those, and if it doesn't get a laugh, ask yourself, why? Can it? What? Let's switch it up. Let's try something different. And I would recommend recording everything, getting a YouTube page, setting all those to private. You don't want to show anybody videos for a while. I was talking with Bear. I'm going to put him on blast. I don't care. He won't care either. But he had a video on his Instagram or something. I'm like, dude, I would just recommend, not putting up a video until you got, like a good minute where there's 3 to 4 laughs,
right? Or even a clip with one good joke.
Exactly. Because you don't want somebody Googling you, doing their research. Oh, Bear wants to do my show. They find a video of a minute long where there's no laughter. Like that, you can't have that.
That's true. Yeah.
And I'm like, I know you're excited because you're doing this new thing and you want people to know about it, but it's going to hurt you. I said, focus on content, on like promoting those things, so
where they can find it.
Yeah. Maybe make a silly video about, hey, I'm over here tonight. Suck a dick.
Right.
I don't know, whatever.
Because I do see some of your posts that have made me laugh where it's just like, oh my God, I got to see Troy's ass. What the fuck? But yeah, it's made me want to be like, what is going on here? Like, like, is he going to do a show? Is there something going on? Like, it gives that element of like wow factor to the post of what you're doing compared to like, we're putting Bear on blast here, but if you just post something up that's just like, you know, I did 2 minutes of comedy, and then in that 2 minutes, there was only a freaking amount of laughter in between all that. Yeah. That kind of feels like, oh man, where is that? Where is the funniness in this person all the time?
Yeah. It's just not a good look. You don't want to put it out there. For you, it sucks to watch it. But if you're honest with yourself, that's where the growth happens.
It does.
Like I when I was on the road, I was doing okay. You know, I write jokes. I'm a good joke writer, so I can get people to laugh. But like, I didn't feel like I was in my groove yet. And then we hit a South Carolina, maybe, I don't know, I forget what city. And I thought I killed it. You know, like I did real well. The 2 nights later, we watched the video, and I was like, "Oh my God, that was terrible! Oh God, why did you say that? Oh my, you said that, Troy? Like, why?" You know, and it was painful to watch. And in my mind, you know, I did well, but watching it again, being honest, I was like, "Oh, that was a C- at best." You know, like,
yeah, you could kind of accepted it.
Yeah, but it hurts. But you know, then you're like, "Oh God, you can't do that." You know, you can't say that. Oh, you really can't say that.
So do you think it's an adrenaline rush in the beginning after your set where you're just like, I killed, and then all of a sudden you really go reevaluate it and you're like, you kind of did okay.
in the moment, the one thing that doesn't translate through video is the energy of the room. You know, that intangible. You know, I'm not all hippy dippy, but there is an energy when you're in a good room. There's an energy, you know, that happens, and that doesn't translate to video.
It's not the same.
Yeah,
people can say like, "Oh, I can hear the laughter of the crowd," but or, "Oh, I know what they're saying." It's not the same.
You're not smelling it. You know, you're not in it. You know, and when you're on stage, I believe, you know, depending on where, like I film with my iPhone. So depending where this is, it might not pick up the crowd laughter.
Okay.
You know,
yeah.
So on the stage you hear all the crowd laughter because it's all directed to you. But wherever like my phone's usually in back
in a corner or something.
Yeah, and so they're laughing totally away from my phone. So the laughter isn't as much when you listen back to it. So in your head you're like, oh, they laughed at that joke, and then when you're listening to it, it's barely audible. You know, so. But it's good, you know, that like
it shouldn't be something to be discouraged about either, right? Because like that's just something that's a recording audio thing that's still being worked on, right? Like you can put your phone up and you can be like, this joke has to kill all the time, and then every time you do, it's like, oh, why didn't it get so many laughs this night compared to this night? And it's like, where did you put your phone? Like, where are things being placed and stuff? If you really are the critique type where you're critiquing yourself on your performance on your video and stuff all the time, I understand that.
Yeah, but I also if it's good, it's gonna hit every time, you know, and you'll hear it every time.
See, that's what I don't know. I don't know about that. So I feel I have a few 2 or 3 jokes that are hitters all the time that I know make people laugh. But then when I do say them and they don't make people laugh, I'm like, is it the crowd? Is it the crowd?
It's never the crowd.
How can you say
it's never the crowd? It's never the crowd, man.
Oh man,
you like that's God. I can talk comedy all fucking day, but it's never the crowd. Like, granted, they're here. Okay, if there's a crowd there, if it's a free show, they're going to be stingy with laughter. Okay, because they literally have no buy-in. You know, they paid nothing to be there, so they have nothing invested. Literally, again, nothing. You know,
yeah.
So they're gonna be like, "All right, well, I paid nothing for this." So free shows almost devalue what we do. You know, like giving it away for free. It hurts us.
Okay,
you know, it devalues what we do. You know, but charging, you know, can you charge people to watch you practice? You know,
yeah.
And so like we'll get into that, but What was your original question? I'm sorry, man.
That's the beauty of this podcast.
Yeah.
But the way we were talking about how the way somebody can critique themselves by where the phone is placed and how dedicated they are and stuff. But that's just again putting in the hours and dedication into your craft. And then I was speaking where I feel like I do have hard hitting jokes, but
I said it's never the crowd.
Yeah, and it doesn't I feel like. There even would be a sense where I said it exactly the same way as I did the night before, and the night before totally rocked it, even got a little shake in the fucking walls and shit, and then the next night it's just like how does that happen? Especially like your example of the free show kind of thing.
Okay, so was the one where it killed, did they pay to be there?
No, they were all free. Same.
They're both free shows?
Yeah, they were open mic style things where I'm just like, I'm going to try to work on this joke throughout the whole week. And out of the 2 spots, it hit really well, and then the rest of them, they all failed.
And see, so I'm not saying every free show people shit on, but free shows understand from a psychological point they people are going to be stingier with laughter. People that pay for a show, they're there to laugh, they're expecting to laugh, so they're in the mood, they're ready. So even if you do that was stupid, it's still, they're going to enjoy it because they're there for that. And so I had to finish that thought out. And then what was your question you just asked me? I'm sorry, man.
No, it's fine. That's the beauty of this podcast. Again, I just love to talk, and we're just here having fun, just here having a chat about whatever comes to mind. Like in a bit, we're going to start talking about fucking aliens. So hopefully you're into that. Cool. Or no, you're a musician too, right?
Yeah.
So how long have you been playing music for?
30-something years.
Whoa. So what do you play?
I started guitar. I started saxophone.
Do you kind of like what you see up here?
Oh, it's cool. It's a very clean environment, and not only cleanliness in the terms of no garbage, but it's the lines are you have this stuff is square, and
I was talking music wise, I don't know the kind of genre of music you're into, what you play, because I've been to your place before, and I was like, holy shit, this is like my house. We have a bunch of equipment around, we have more than one skill, what's going on there? Where did that come about? You were just an ambitious young guy trying to play music?
Well, I wanted to get pussy, man. That's where
holla.
Right? So here's the thing. My parents got me a guitar. I took guitar lessons when I was 8 years old.
Holy shit!
And it wasn't fun. I had it's never the guitar. Just like it's never the audience. It's never the guitar.
I can't play it. This guitar sucks.
But I had a shitty acoustic guitar, and acoustic guitars are hard to learn on, especially with little boy hands, sensitive little boy hands.
Trying out, yeah.
Because I identified as a boy back then. That was
it was okay back then. I don't think it was a problem.
Yeah.
Now it's a problem if you try to identify.
So it was hard. So I quit, and then I was 12 going on 13.
Dude, I'm so fucking stupid right now. Go ahead, keep going.
And
this whole podcast has the fucking light on.
12 going on 13, and I used to go to do summer camps and shit, because my parents both worked, and if it wasn't a summer camp, I was just staying with grandma during the week and auntie, which was fine. But I liked doing summer camps, so I went to this one. It was 2 weeks long, and by the end of the 2 weeks, I watched this one kid learn the intro to Stairway to Heaven.
Oh shit!
And I was like, oh man, if I used to play guitar. I'm gonna pick it. If he can do this, I can learn it. So that was my motivation. And Stairway to Heaven was what I wanted to learn. I learned it. Took me a month or two, whatever, and got back into guitar. And all throughout high school, I transitioned from the sports to music.
Okay,
that was my thing. And played in bands, all throughout college. So
Because I know you have a joke where you talk about a band that you were in. Is that true?
Side Effect, yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah. And it's funny because I was talking with Jeff McBride, who Let's Talk About Sets. He does that podcast. It's a great podcast. It's all about the science and art of comedy.
Oh shit! I'll check that out.
Yeah, him and Harrison. Let's Talk About Sets. Awesome. So I toured with Jeff. I'm gonna name drop. I'm gonna big time it right here. And he was actually the one who went over that set with me. That was terrible. And I forgot where the fuck that started, where I was headed with that.
We were talking about music, stuff that you're into, and how you started playing and stuff. Then we started talking about your side band, right? Side Effects, that's what it's called.
Jeff McBride, he got that, he gave that to me. He's like, well, tell me what. I was like, my band was Side Effect, and he's like, dude, that's perfect. Like the part of the drug no one wants.
Nice.
And so it's a great line. And then I followed up with the same went for our music, because no one
was into it. What was it? What did you play?
Side Effect was like we were an eclectic band. Like we did songs that kind of hit on a bunch of different. Each song kind of sounded like a different genre.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was the 90s, so pop metal was dying off, grunge was coming on, so. The other guitarist was a great guitarist, Michael Krajewski, out in Chicago, and so he wrote this power ballad, and it was everything a power ballad should be. Starts off slow with the arpeggiated acoustic guitar,
nice,
and
clean sounding.
Yeah, and then it hits the distortion with the power chords, and then the solo. But yeah, it was cool. So that was with my best friend Tony growing up. So that I was in that band in high school, I guess, and then I finished high school out here, junior and senior year.
In New Mexico.
Yeah, I grew up in Chicago.
Oh,
and then so I went back to Illinois for a year of college. So that in high school, freshman and sophomore year, I played with these guys, and then back when I was a freshman in college again.
nice. So what made you come here then? If you were in Chicago,
I was in high school. My parents wanted to get away from the weather
over there.
It was pretty much the weather, and a little bit of family, like. My mom, everybody's got crazy people in their family. So,
well, that's a cool little thing. I mean, the fact that they just didn't want to deal with that weather up there, so they come up here, and then you started life down here.
And yeah, they took a risk because my dad sold his business, So yeah,
damn. And now, what was his business?
He owned a roofing company.
A roofing company.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah. But music was my first love. I always loved comedy growing up. I remember being a child and trying to stay up Saturday to catch Saturday Night Live.
Oh, shit.
I still remember seeing there's one sketch where they add gasm to the end of every word. And they had the blue cards, and they were talking about if you've got a 4-cylinder car, that's a 4 on the floor gasm. Abraham Lincoln had a 4-score-gasm, or like that was the gist of it, and I remember being a kid laughing and not really knowing knowing that orgasm was something to do with sex or, something embarrassing. So I knew it was funny for that, but I didn't know specifically. So, I've always loved comedy. And like I said, I started playing music to try and get pussy. works. If anybody out there is wondering,
You would be surprised. Even from the beginning starts of when I first started to play guitar, it's just like, oh, you play guitar?
Yeah.
That's so cool. I'm just like, God damn it. I can't wait till I get better.
Yeah, right. Music was kind of my first love, and kind of being a failed musician, a stand-up comedian is. The funny thing is, like, I could never write lyrics to a song.
Just not a lyrical writer?
No, but like
music-wise,
jokes,
yeah.
Like jokes, I can write fucking jokes for days, but songs, and it's similar because there's formulas, like for some stuff, but I guess the formulaic stuff sounds like garbage, which is why, like the iambic pentameter, the rappers who rap, like, it sounds like it's still stuck in 1984.
AABB,
Well,
AABB.
yeah, just the boom 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 boom. Just the simple iambic pentameter, where there's no variation from the.
I feel like, though, that's what in music now, that's what appeals to the general masses, and it's so hard to find really cool, intricate music. Like, you really have to go in deep and be like, oh, well, let me go find experimental music or some kind of cool, intricate rapper or something different than what is given to us on the media or like pop culture right away.
Yeah, there is also a line on I guess relatability. That's not the right word, but how the music translates. You can be technically a great musician and you can produce shit songs, because you just don't have that skill of songwriting or whatever. But the one who can marry them both, that's a good song. That's a talented musician and can write the songs. Like, that's interesting stuff.
Yeah,
and that's tough to be. That's where everybody wants to be.
Do you think that's like a developed skill, or is that just something that people have in general?
Well, I think with anything creative, there's got to be something inherent, like there's something inherently you want to create. So you probably should have some skills inherently, whether it's thinking outside the box or being really good at photorealism, drawing, whatever it is. I think a lot of those can be learned, though, too.
Yeah.
Photorealism drawing, you can learn that. That's a skill you can learn.
Just constant practice.
Yeah. But if you have a gift, then you're that much more ahead of the game.
That's so crazy to think about, too, that there are certain people out there that have that gift, that were kind of born with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people that, I've heard stories. What's her name? There's this one story of this autistic lady. Her name was Temple Granite, I think.
I don't know.
She was able to look at a piece of paper, like a page of a book, and then close the book and close her eyes, and then every word, she memorized the page.
Yeah.
And just by taking one look at it, she didn't read any of the words or anything. That blows me away in itself, because, like, what is the potential of our human minds that we can't do shit like that? Yeah.
Here's a little trick. I subscribed to guitar magazines growing up, because every guitar magazine has tablature.
Same.
And I can't read the sheet music, but I can read the shit out of tab.
Yeah, number system, right?
Yeah,
it's so
easy.
much easy. 1, 5, 3.
So growing up, being in high school, I would before I went to bed, I would practice the guitar or read that music, and then I'd close my eyes. I could see the sheet music, the tablature, and I swear to God, in the morning, like it stuck with me better because I did that
In the night, like right before
I went to bed. I would read the music or play the song one more time while reading the tablature.
Just picture it. Once you went to the next morning, more refreshed.
Yeah.
Everything else.
Yeah.
Because there are those things too where it's just like you can practice something really, really hard, but unless you walk away from it for a few minutes or something, just for a little bit, then come back to it, you could actually be better at it. Having that tunnel vision or whatever, it's just, taking a different.
But that's why I like doing writing sessions, because you're so into your joke that it's you can't see the forest through the trees.
Very true.
And all it takes is somebody to point out that one simple thing, and you're like, oh shit, And
because it's the perspective of so many people in there. Is it better to have a bigger session of people for a writing session or less of people?
I don't think it matters, just as long as everybody kind of respects, the not talking over everybody. It's tough because
there's people that just are like, I want the input. I want my opinion to be heard. It's like, but it's more of a community thing where we all should hear what's going on and stuff.
Well, I mean, you've been to them, so it's just trying to get people to write their best comedy and understand, if it's not funny, why it's not funny, and understand how to make it funny.
Yeah.
Because I don't care, I've told people, starting this comedy thing, I was like, I'm here to make people laugh. I'm not here to make friends, So, because I saw it was very cliquey from the get go, and that's every place. That's every kind of thing.
Everything,
almost.
right? Yeah. Because when I came here to Albuquerque and I had a band and stuff, right away it turns into a cliquey kind of thing where it's just like, oh, we only book hardcore grindcore bands, or oh, you're not going to play with this post-punk band or something. So we never really got to mingle, or when we did play a show, it was just those group of kids in that corner, those guys over there, and it's just we're all here for music. What's going on?
Yeah. Sometimes people lose sight of what the purpose is.
It's so crazy. Do you think it's just because of time, how our society is grown like that? Do you feel like we're more separated now, or we're actually together more since past?
I'm gonna drop a joke here, but am I the only one who thinks it's ironic that the LGBTQ community advocates for equality and inclusiveness, yet completely ignores the other 21 letters of the alphabet?
I remember that joke.
Yeah. That. Fuck. What was your fucking question? Because that was very. That answered it, but I forgot where the direction I was headed towards.
I honestly forgot my question too.
Okay.
But we were talking about music and shit. But anyways, the society and the way it's gone. Do you feel we're less separated now than we are than back then? Because now it feels like there's a bunch of separation everywhere compared to people were like, oh, well, people were more racist and blah blah back then. I was like, yeah, but people weren't as crazy about gender equality rights or different kinds of internment camps or whatever, all this bullshit.
So the thing that's funny about the LGBTQ community is because they were speaking out. They were like, we just want to be treated equally. We don't want to be treated differently. That's the same thing with every one of these movements that have started. People just want to be treated equally, not called out, and now there's 53 genders, it's it's gone to the extreme of everybody is so individualized. I can't be labeled, but here's what I am. 17 labels. Very specific.
Yeah, very specific.
So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question, but that's kind of my take on it. And I'd like to work it into a joke, but I would be like, I blame music for this. because music stores, you'd go into there and it progressively be more specific genres. It's like you got rock, and then you got heavy metal, you got hard rock, you got garage rock, you got garage revival rock, and then it's like just how ridiculous and specific can you get,
Yeah, the genre specific C now is just ridiculous. Like, I don't even like to categorize any music in genres. I just like, do you like listening to music? What music do you like to listen to? Not like, oh, are you into this hard rock band? Or like, have you ever heard of this progressive death metal? Like, it's way too intense. Like,
it's like more about the naming than the music.
Right? Because there are certain similarities where I'll be like, why does this band called this genre and this band is this? They sound the exact same thing.
Yeah, but and that's ignorance on our part, because it's the same as like I still don't know the difference between cumbias and rancheras, and they're both
very supposedly culturally different.
Yeah, so it's, and the artificial intelligence with the facial recognition over in China.
Dude, it's so good.
They're nailing it. And it's like, dude, in China, but where they all look the same, like, that's not even racist. That's just a fact. Like, billions of people all looking the same.
The best thing about that, though, is that China's telling them, like, hey, we're still working on our facial recognition. Hope you guys are ready. On our end, we're just like, hey, let me tag myself in a photo. And then all of a sudden it gets uploaded to facial recognition. I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but if you post a photo on Facebook, it'll automatically want to tag the person. It'll be like, isn't this person? Don't you want to tag him? I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What's next, right? Somebody just like, oh, man, it's just intense. But that's the future. Are you scared of the future, Troy? Are you ready for technology to advance that fast?
Yeah, I'm ready to see the world destruct. I think I'll see it.
Do you think it'll be a Skynet scenario?
I don't know what Skynet scenario means, but
What
I think
the fuck?
I think there'll be a post. Like, I'm counting on the fact that when I'm retirement age, so about 20 years, 25 years, I'm going to be like, my marketable skill is going to be being able to drive a standard vehicle. They're going to need, it's going to be like Mad Max, Road Warrior shit,
right,
where they're going to need people who can drive, and because the power grid's going to go out, and electric cars, as great as they are for the environment and shit, they ain't going to mean shit once the power grid is turned,
right back to fossil fuels and gasoline engines, getting you where you need to be.
I'm an award-winning brewer. I don't know if that matters.
Really now. Let's go ahead and give that. We gotta let that people are going crazy.
Oh wow!
But what have you made?
Beers.
What kind of beers? Like, isn't there like
all kinds?
I'm not a huge buff, or I don't know a lot about beers. So there's like different types of beers. Obviously, IPAs.
Well, there's
lagers.
There's really Country Simple. There's two kinds of beers.
Two kinds.
There's really only two kinds. There's ales and there's lagers. Okay. The difference between ales and lagers: ales are warm fermented, and lagers are cold fermented. So lagers have to be temperature controlled during the fermentation process, generally below 45 degrees or something. I don't know, like, it's been a while since I brewed, but
super specifics, but it has to be to a certain temperature to do that type of beer.
Lagers, yeah.
Okay.
Lagers are cold fermented, and then ales, it's not that they're warm fermented, but the yeast can withstand warmer temperatures.
Oh, okay, so it's just what they're made of as well, too, right?
And then yeah, the different. So those are the two kinds of beers, and then there's obviously styles within both those categories.
Okay.
Like lagers, you have Kolsch's, and there's 140 something categories of beers. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what always confuses
and then
me too.
it's the malt that you put in, because there's only 4 ingredients for beer. You know what the 4?
I don't.
Okay, that's water, hops, barley, and yeast.
Those are the 4 main.
Yeah, that's according to the German Reinheitsgebot purity law of 1319. Those are the only 4 ingredients that can be in beer.
Okay, wow, that's crazy. But yeah, then that's when all the other extra added stuff comes in, where people are like, oh, well, I want to have this twist on mine where it tastes more like a amber's taste, or like some kind of different.
Well, there's a great variation within those, just using those 4 categories.
Oh, okay.
Because the barley is, the malt, depending on how long you roast it and what temperature, you will make a darker and more flavorful malt.
Okay.
And then, so what percentage of do you use? Because you know how beer works, right? How to make beer.
Not to really. But
Okay, so basic chemistry of beer is you have yeast. Yeast eats the sugar. When the yeast eats the sugar, it poops out alcohol and CO2
from just the yeast. So do you have to mix yeast with sugar? Or
well, that's what fermentation is. That's what the brewing process is. So when you brew, you're mixing water with the hops, which is a preservative and flavor thing. It's a cousin to cannabis, and then the malt, which is like your sugar.
Okay.
And you can use anything. You can use honey. You can use maple syrup. You can use sugar. I mean, it's gonna give it a shittier flavor, but anything that has sweet in it. So you're mixing all that together, and then you cool it to a certain temperature, and then you add your yeast. And the yeast there's different flavors of yeast, 2 different kinds. But the yeast is what will eat all the sugars, and as the yeast eat the sugar, it creates CO2 and also the alcohol.
Okay.
So after
that's why you see it separate, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, and it's also just the natural separation. In the cooking process, there's stuff that's in there that will settle. So after about a week or so, you'll remove. It's called racking your beer. You'll remove it and put it into another container and let it ferment in there for a week or 2, and it'll settle some more. You can add hops there. You can do all kinds of shit, but generally, then after that, then you'll bottle it or keg it or can it or whatever, and then
just to keep it preserved or whatever.
Well, yeah, and then if you're a true home brewer, you're gonna put a little bit of sugar in before you bottle it, and that little bit of sugar with the live yeast in there will create enough to carbonate it, so when you open it, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's crazy. A little bit of brewing magic here from Troy Willson.
So I mean, I used to, like I brewed. God, I was brewing beer in like '93.
Holy shit,
'94.
What were some names of your brews? What was some names of it?
The White Spider.
The White Spider.
That was a good one. It was like a Belgian white beer. That was before. Yeah, I think that was before Blue Moon, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. The White Spider.
Sinner's Prayer. That was a good one. It was an Abbey double style ale.
Okay.
We used maple syrup and honey and almonds.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think of, like, other ingredients to put in there to make it into your signature flavor.
And we experimented with all kinds of shit. So it was fun.
So there's probably a bunch of other trashed ideas, like,
oh god, the watermelon beer.
That was for another time. It didn't work. Work.
But you live and learn, man.
Wait, did it not work, or did it just taste weird as fuck? Bring back repressed memories.
Yeah.
Oh man. So what's up, Troy? Are you a political person?
What do you mean political person?
Like how do you follow politics enough to care who's running for president and why they're running for president?
Well, Trump's going to win again.
You think so?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I'm
not trying to be like, oh, what do you mean he's going to win? But
that's just, I feel like it's.
I kind of agree with you. Like, there's nobody on the other side that's even close to. And then, oh man, the whole talk about politics and stuff I had with Nico was just like, there is a big like different advantage when you are already in power. Like, you have so much more leeway and so much more government money when you are already the person trying to rerun again, compared to the person trying to take your seat.
Yeah.
And that's so crazy to think about, because it's going to be hard for anybody on the left to really kind of push anything to even get close to start running against the Republicans.
It's so crazy, man. Like, shame on me, because what was it? In 2015, like, I used to jam with some guys weekly, and I'm like, man, I want to see Trump win only because I think he's like, he could destroy our political system to where like it would have to like
rebuild itself.
Fuck, dude, we got no choice. It's fucking destroyed. You know, the foundation is gone. You know, and I think he got impeached, or
beginning processes of it.
So, but so did Clinton, and
look at what happened, right?
Yeah. So
he's still a big pawn in the game now too.
Yeah. So what does it mean? Anything? It just ups your street cred. Like, I'm the most banned comedian here in Albuquerque. I've been banned from more places than anyone else.
But then that's so weird. That aspect too is how comedy open mics work. Like, you just try to find a bar that allows you to do it, and then if it hits, then they'll be like, "This is cool. I'm glad you're doing this." Or if it's not, they're just like, "This isn't working out. You guys need to find another spot to do this." Like, that in itself is weird too, because we don't have an established comedy place here. So does that? There's obviously always open mics being opened anywhere and everywhere, right?
Oh, every city, yeah, across the country. And it's an open mic is just a way to get people into your establishment on an off night. There's never an open mic on a Friday night, because the people go out on a Friday night. You don't have to advertise to get people to come out to your place on a Friday night, because people are already out. Yeah,
people want to do something on these nights.
But on a Tuesday night,
you're looking for stuff to do. You're just like, what is there to do on a Tuesday?
But I worked in the restaurant industry for years, and Tuesdays were the worst. And a Tuesday after a Monday holiday, worst.
Just for any kind of business, like any.
No, I was in the restaurant business, so like waiting tables, bartending.
Okay.
And the Tuesday after a Monday holiday, it was just slow.
Okay.
And a terrible idea to work. And then Tuesdays in general were just the shittiest day.
And that's what these open mics are there to, just like kind of like, hey guys, Tuesdays suck, but at least there's something to do.
Yeah. Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, Sunday, the off nights, and yeah. An open mic is just a chance to bring in an audience, and obviously, everybody wants to be a star or the center of attention, so you're going to be like all your friends, hey, I'm getting on stage tonight, and then so everybody's like, hey, Stacy's getting on stage tonight. Let's go see, fuck Stacy.
And that's a little bit weirder too, because like, if you're just trying to appeal to people at your open mics, when you actually do a show, it's going to be bad.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've I've come to find that out pretty hard myself. But learning is a process.
Hey
where
man,
it's just
the only time you learn anything is when you bomb. You don't learn anything from watching a great set.
That's true.
Well,
you can learn maybe, but no experience unless you do it.
And like, not bragging on myself, but like the not bombing is few and far between now. I don't know the last time I bombed when I was in Vegas at the Hilarious 7 at the Hooters Hotel.
Really?
It didn't go as well as I wanted it to.
So it wasn't really like it wasn't a bomb. It just wasn't a satisfying set.
Yeah, it wasn't up to my standard.
What you think?
What I'm capable of.
Okay.
It fell short.
You didn't think it was a crowd?
But I was at that show when I was there recently, and it was the crowd. Like
right?
the crowd was just like,
there are some aspects that the crowd,
but also like why I say it's never the crowd, is because it's our job as performers, as entertainers, to make it funny,
Yeah.
And
no matter what the crowd is feeling or how they want to react, your job is to try. And it's gonna hit or it doesn't.
Yeah, and that's where the reading the room comes into play. You have to make everything funny. Well, if it's a old white crowd, I can't do my Wu-Tang Clan joke as brilliant as it is. Like, but they're not. It doesn't make sense.
I get you.
So you have to read a room. That there's several aspects to that too.
Yeah, that again just comes to like learning the process, right? You just keep doing it and learning how it's done. Because after a few times, you get the kind of get the comfort level where you are like, okay, I get exactly what joke I should say because none of these people are gonna get it. What I'm gonna say if I do the binary rapper joke or something like that. It makes sense though.
Well, yeah. I mean, you have to have enough material to pull from.
Yeah, that's true too.
And eventually, after doing it for so long, you see patterns and you see, oh, these two can go together. Oh, these are about the same subject. Oh, and then if I put it with after, I've been doing it after this one. Now I got 6 parts instead of just the 4. So now you just built a bit. And that's how it works. That's one way how it works.
Okay. And I've kind of seen how that kind of reacts. Like, you can tell what works with other jokes because of what you said last. And sometimes it's just like, why would he start talking about this when his last joke was just something like this? It's kind of like a weird left turn. Some people pull it off well, some people don't. It's just one of those.
Well, misdirection, surprise.
Yeah.
Surprise is an element of laughter, and misdirection is the biggest tool to get surprise. So
because it's just being I like saying when you do comedy, at least one person in the world is offended by what you just said, no matter what it is.
Oh, as benign as you could be talking about puppy dog kisses, and somebody be like, "You're kissing a dog? That's disgusting. Right. That's bestiality." And it's like, dude, like it.
That one person that doesn't appeal to makes another 10 people laugh or something. So I kind of like to use weird little analogies like that where I'm just like, well, it's okay if you guys don't find my joke funny. Maybe I just need to tweak that joke so you do find it funny. And then next time I see those other people, they'll know, you kind of have, do you have jokes that are kind of like relatable to type of people that you're talking to just by switching a few words, where you're just like, oh, it's a white crowd, so I'm gonna say this joke, but the punchline is this, and you're like, oh, it's more of a ethnic crowd, the punchline is this. Do you have that kind of segue joke, I guess you can say, where it's just like it starts off one way, but you can lead it into two different, a numerous amount of ways to be able to, like you said, read the room to know what you're gonna do?
No, I usually just go hard, man. Yeah.
I don't know. That's one thing
I did Nexus a 2 weeks ago, and one of the first jokes I ever wrote was like a joke about race, and I took a chance and did it there, and it fucking killed.
Nice.
And it's like, man, it feels good, because that was like one of the first jokes I wrote, but it's very much there's very much a structure to it, and it was kind of formulaic, but it was.
It's one of those jokes though that you actually kind of like have always like in reserve, right? You're just like, I'll bust this out once in a while whenever I can. If it's like,
yeah, I mean, you would hope to have all your jokes like that are that, like it's nice to have just all closers, that's what you want to do. You want to have every joke you want to be able to close with.
That's actually a pretty cool little idea to think about. Is every joke that good that it could be cool? You can literally finish your set with the last joke you just said if you wanted to. That's the kind of idea that I'm picturing what you just said.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. So you want to know about me? That's what this is about. You said a little bit. What have you heard about me? Let's start there.
Give me 1 second. Shout out to the 4 viewers who are watching. Thank you.
Hey,
Poopy DIK face.
Poopy Dick Face.
Who are Troy's comedy influences? They would like to know. Let our viewers know.
Carlin. As a kid, I liked Carlin because he was smart, and I understood him even as a kid, and the hypocrisy that he pointed out. I listened to Cheech and Chong tapes. Dude, let's make a dope deal. Like I love that one because I loved game shows growing up. Who else? Rodney Dangerfield. Dice was huge when I was right at that age where pussy and dick jokes were the sweet spot.
Everybody was laughing at that
12
shit.
or 13 years old, so yeah, the only people I never liked Cosby. I never was into Woody Allen, so
it's for Bill Cosby out there.
Yeah. But yeah, I liked All in the Family. That was a good show.
Nice.
So that was a comedy influence.
So like sitcoms and stuff.
Well, that and Sanford and Son,
Sanford and Son,
Barney Miller, like that. But also my comedy influences was I did read the Playboys, my dad's Playboys for the titty and pussy pics, but also I liked the cartoons.
Oh, okay.
The cartoons in Playboy is a comedy influence of mine.
Nice. Any newer, kind of more recent people that you can name that you might be influenced by or like at least?
Oh, Jesselnick, of course. He's so funny. Tosh, they both use that misdirection and that wordplay, and I like both of them. Yeah,
Those are some two good names already. So that Anthony
obviously,
Jeselnik, he's
yeah.
so funny. Like the fact that it's like really crude. It's so like, oh my god.
Well, that's his persona. You know, he's built that up to where
So fucking chess. I love that. That's the shit.
where he's nonchalant and arrogant, and but arrogant with he can back it up. Like so it's a cockiness. It's just weird. He's dialed in his character pretty well.
GT427 says George Carlin was and is always my favorite. So.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's
he influenced a lot of people.
I want. My goal is to commission a Mount Rushmore of comedy, and Carlin would be on there. Groucho Marx would be on there.
4 to 5.
You got to do a bunch, man, and it's weird. I think
Everyone talks.
Joan Rivers.
Okay.
I would want on there.
Rosie O'Donnell.
No.
Roseanne Barr. Adam Sandler. Dude, that's what's crazy about comedy, though, that there are so much people out there that have influenced other people that we like. Like, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, like, Groucho Marx is... They sell the fucking nose and glasses. Like, that's how influential he is on comedy. Like, people probably don't even know why that's funny.
Yeah, there's like, let me get that disguise thing.
Yeah.
That funny disguise. They're like, I get you. Bill Hicks is on the 5 Notes. Poopy DIK face says.
Yeah, I mean, but Hicks was like a newer Carlin type, where he was more of a ranter, a political philosopher, or a social commentaryist.
Okay.
And they did it by pointing out the hypocrisies and stupidities and stuff. In a smart way. I liked them both. I think you learn something from everybody, even if you learn what not to do, you're still learning something, like don't put roofies in women's drinks and then put your balls in their mouth.
Don't tell homicidal jokes on your first time.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, if it's done right, tastefully, but
then don't tell people how to do their first time.
That's yeah, that's very true.
Like he's obviously rode the momentum of that, through here, for a month now or 6 weeks.
Poopy DIK face wants to know, where can I hear some of Troy's stand up?
I have a YouTube channel.
Drop it.
If you go to sixsun.com /talent, and I'm listed there, and you can see some of the comedians I've talked to, and pick their brains about comedy.
Sixsun.com, people.
SICKSON.com /talent.
Because for the longest time too, I always thought it was Six Sons. And I thought because there was multiple of you guys.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, so it's Six Sons. But now every time I have, like last time I had,
some people think it's 6 the number.
Oh, okay. But I like that name. It's pretty funny. It has a good, like a Six Son.
Yeah, and we're definitely on brand. Sam Alvarado and Cat Savage and myself.
Nice.
We definitely all have a darker
undertone to comedy. And stuff.
Overtone. Tone, a darker tone. Somebody said that described me as a darker shade of black.
Darker shade of black. You can see it.
It's like a Vanta black. That's what I would say if I was doing an art crowd. They might understand that.
GT 427 said, "Nice beard, by the way, you sexy bastard."
Oh, hey, thank you. I just trimmed it up for the first time in months.
Do you hear that? For the podcast, people. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. And he's also said, "Is that water? Yuck."
Yeah, no, I don't drink.
He's got to stay hydrated. Stay hydrated.
And I can't drink. I have a drinking problem. I have a drinking and driving. I have a drinking and driving and getting caught by the police problem.
Right.
So if I don't drink, then I can't get caught driving by the police problem.
New Mexico, the only place to have DUIs and still not be in jail.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that little funny little annotation. When you hear those little noises, they put up a little like, that was funny. So cool little things like that.
Oh, nice.
It's actually, we've gotten a lot of reactions on on this podcast, a little bit more than I have doing a lot of other comedians.
Oh, really?
It's weird how it works because like I've had people on here where like David Knight, we had at least like over like 127 views. There's a lot of people watching, but then nobody subscribed.
Oh.
But then I had Nico on, and we talked, and we had 2 subscribers. Maybe not as much views, but 2 subscribers on that channel. And now the podcast with you, we're having a lot of banter with Poopy DK Face. I'm not going to call you a dick. And GT 427, and they're like interacting with us and stuff too, and that's always good too because I have a philosophy of where to post this, where I don't want to be on Facebook at the moment doing my podcast because I'm just appealing to my family. Yeah. Like most of my family and all the Facebook friends and follows and stuff like that are family based. With my podcast on YouTube going live on that platform, it's all random. Yeah. I want to appeal to a random audience where they come and see what's going on, and if they like what they see, they're gonna subscribe, interact, like it. Not where like, oh, look at Angel is doing his video again. Let me get those 5 people to go look. Come see. And then all of a sudden, me and you were doing a podcast, and all of a sudden we start talking about dicks and ass. And then my grandma's like, what's going on? I can't believe he's this bad.
Yeah.
So it just depends. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm gonna have to offend them one day. I mean, they can't just be like, that's an innocent little baby.
No, right. But yeah, no, I hear you. And thank you people for watching,
interacting with us. You guys are awesome. We have a couple of segments we're gonna do.
Yeah,
but, we're actually just hit the hour mark.
Okay,
we've been chatting for an hour, just hanging out. But we got a few segments we're gonna do, and first off, it's just a couple of things that just happened today in history.
Okay,
so that's all it is. We just look up what happened today in history.
Do I have to do anything?
No, we're just going to sit here and talk about it. So please excuse my very dyslexic ass because I have a very bad time reading. But these are things that happened today on December 29th, 2019 is the date today. But on 1170, Thomas Becket, the Archbishop of Canterbury, is murdered in Canterbury Cathedral by 4 knights of Henry II. Today in this day.
See, that does nothing for me.
That's boring. That's not a specific history that matters.
No.
I guess today,
like, I mean, it's cool. Like, it's cool. 4 nights. I picture like both. It's like the first. Oh, I guess here's the joke. That it's the first time races united. We had two white knights and 2 of the black knights join forces because he was such a piece of shit. The Archbishop of Canterbury. And that's a chess joke too.
Yeah.
See,
exactly.
But it's a race. It's I don't know. It was the first race joke. Hey.
In 1607, Indian chief Powhatan spares John Smith's life after he pleads for his daughter's
Pocahontas.
Oh, is that? Holy shit. That's based off the movie, dude. Just kidding. But yeah, 1607, that's what was happening right now at this time, supposedly.
Wow.
That's what we try to find out. That's what this segment is about, seeing how much of history we can be added to today. After attempting a new strategy to defeat the colonies in the Americas, British troops capture Savannah, Georgia. Are you a historian kind of fan?
I history wasn't my jam.
It's not your thing?
No.
What was your subject in school? Besides music, you can't really use.
Math, like
you're a math guy?
Yeah, I got math for some reason. English, like hey.
Thank you for the like on that activity. Thank you guys. Much love, much love. In 1808, Andrew Johnson, American vice president who succeeded Lincoln after his assassination on April 15th, 1865.
That didn't sound like a sentence.
Andrew Johnson, American vice president who succeeded
Lincoln after his assassination. Like there needs to be more to that sentence.
What is so? Is it that after Lincoln died, he took over until this time, or did he take? They waited that long and then they're like, well, Lincoln's been dead. We don't know what to do. We might as well get this guy in at this time.
Well, yeah. What? How come it says 1865 and 1808?
In 1808, they did. See, fuck this website, bro.
Yeah. So you got. I don't know.
History.net.
Yeah,
I thought this was credible facts.
No.
Texas.
Always double reference your shit.
Trippy Land, thank you for joining. What's up? Thank you. Just dropped in the chat. 1862, Union General William T. Sherman's troops tried to gain the north side of Vicksburg in the Battle of Chickasaw
Bluffs.
That doesn't even sound real.
No, that's all good. That's Chickasaw is an Indian group, I'm sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy because all the villes, like driving through the South, every town is a Knoxville or a Cherryville or a Nashville. They're all villes, you know, and it's just that part of the country. And then there's a lot of Indian names to places everywhere. You know, you don't realize.
The influence that they have.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, keep going.
In 1890, the last major conflict of the Indian Wars takes place at the Wounded Knee Creek in South Dakota after Colonel James W. Forsyth of the 7th Cavalry tries to disarm Chief Bigfoot and his followers. I guess that's more native war stuff going on.
Yeah, I was in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and I saw the falls at night.
Really?
Yeah.
That's just a beautiful look.
Very underwhelming. Like falls. I was picturing falls with huge, like not huge, but I was expecting maybe a couple stories.
Blow you away,
two or three stories, and it's
like it's almost as tall as I am.
It was like a creek. It was like a fast moving creek. I'm like, holy shit, dude! Like this is but it was beautiful. It was beautiful at night. Sioux Falls was cool. Well, I actually hooked up with a Tinder date
over there.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another question then. Speaking of Tinder, in different locations of demographic, do you think it's different to hook up with hotter women if there's more of a population, or less of attractive women because more of the population? So my example is if you go to California and go try to date somebody, everyone there is literally like mostly 7s and 9s that you can get with. Compared to going to, I don't know, here in New Mexico, where there's not as much 7 and 9. So they have more higher confidence than would.
The 7s and 9s are all taken out here.
There you go. That's a good example. Or they have way too much of a I'm so hot, blah, blah, compared to in another state.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's weird. Every place is weird.
Sergio Sanchez says, "What's up, guys?"
What's up, Sergio? I got in trouble for posting something about how like Albuquerque women need to step up their game. Like you can't go out you can't go grocery shopping in your PJs and slippers, like, and your hair just
in a bun or just up.
Like when did that become acceptable? You know, like, and every other city in this great nation, you know, women, and I'm not saying like women aren't here to please me or do, you know,
yeah,
but they at least run a comb through their hair, you know, and put on something that they weren't just sleeping in, you know, it seems problematic out here. It's just very lazy. It goes back with how like flip flops is acceptable footwear,
right?
You know, it isn't. When I'm president, I'm outlawing flip flops unless water is involved.
Are you hearing this, people? This is the first campaign ad right now on MuseMe TV for Troy's presidency.
Okay, so we'll talk about that. I'm running on education, healthcare, and infrastructure. That's what I'm running on my platform.
And he has what it takes to be there.
I think I do. I'm going to legalize all drugs federally. We're going to legalize everything. You can buy it. It'll be taxed. All that money will go towards education and rehabilitation. You know, infrastructure, everybody's going to have jobs because the country needs to be updated, and there's jobs for everybody.
Poopy DIK Face has a few questions.
Okay.
One was, has Troy ever done a birthday or wedding? I think as a comedy.
Yeah, I did a 9-year-old's birthday like 2 years ago.
Sergio asked, could you guys sing Old Town Road? That's actually for another night, sir. We're gonna have to come back on that.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, we'll karaoke it some night. Meet us out, or
if you're down, just come to the podcast and we'll sing a few songs.
Yeah,
just right here,
okay,
on the podcast. Be like, all right, this is podcast number whatever number, karaoke night.
Okay,
and whoever I invite, we're just gonna sing 2 or 3 songs.
Oh, that'd be fun.
What else? Poopy Dick. I almost. Poopy DIK Face said yoga pants for the young and the old. I think that's she wants that, or they want that for your campaign, for your presidential campaign.
Oh my God,
yoga pants for the young and the old.
I have a joke about yoga pants.
Do you want to say it? Or can they find the joke somewhere online?
You can probably find it if you come and see me, because I'll say it, because it's a pretty good closer.
There you go. All right, let's finish off by doing my last segment,
right,
and then we'll do a couple of handle drops and stuff where they can find you and stuff, because I'm pretty sure you have a couple shows coming up, right?
Yeah.
All right, so this next segment is called Rapid Fire. Are you ready?
Pew, 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 pew.
Okay, what rapid fire is I have a list of 25 words.
Okay.
I'm going to say the word, and I want you to say the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
Right away.
All right.
It doesn't have to be another word. Like if I say bicycle, you don't have to say run. You can say a phrase or something that just makes you think of that word. So if it's like bicycle and you're like down a street, that's okay.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be just a word.
Okay.
Again, this is called rapid fire. Yeah, 25 words. Are you ready, Troy? He's not ready. He's about to be ready.
I'm ready.
One more little intro. This is rapid fire.
Perfect.
25 words. Are you ready?
Shoot.
Pizza.
Toppings.
Island.
Aruba.
Music.
Life.
Black.
White.
Trippy.
Acid.
Fast.
Furious.
Animal.
Orangutan.
Space.
Outer.
Maze.
Corn.
Army.
Navy.
Drugs.
Marijuana.
Air.
Breathe.
Pendulum.
Back and forth.
Native American.
Indian.
Scar.
Cut.
School.
Learn.
Magic.
Gay.
Computer.
Works.
Superhero.
Superman.
Comedy.
Me.
Bleach.
White.
Fame.
Fortune.
Ham water.
Drink.
MuseMe.
You.
That's it. That's rapid fire, man.
All right.
You did good. And okay, the point of that is it's just like, just to have it, and every time I have a new guest come on, see what they say compared to the last person.
You use the same stuff every time?
Yeah, the same list to everybody.
Wow, that's cool.
So maybe when I get like 4 more people, I'll do like a compilation video where it's just like everyone's answers in one video. So it's like a little 5-minute video and stuff. Right. Everybody who's here watching, thank you very much. You're our 5 viewers, and we've had a couple of people in and out. Thanks again to Poopy DIK Face. Sergio, thank you again. We're not going to sing the song from Lil Nas. I know you want us to sing Old Town Road. Not tonight, but maybe next time. Troy, thank you for coming, man. I really appreciate it. Where can they find you? Where's some handles they can look for you at?
Follow me on Instagram. That's where I use that to promote my comedy, and that's connected to the Facebook and the Twitter. But yeah, Instagram is where you can find me, and it's Willson Troy, WILLSON TROY. And I have the YouTube, and sixsun.com is the website where you can find all the shows that I'm producing along with my team.
Good, because Poopy DIK Face just asked, any Arizona dates coming up?
Not currently, but I'm looking to hit VF, like I'm looking to hit like a certain market. So yeah, okay. Like that's hopefully within the next 2 or 3 months. Be
looking out for that. Okay. Make sure to check them out. sixsun.com, Facebook, Instagram, no Twitter or anything like that. You don't?
Yeah, I have Twitter, but like I said, it's just like there's so much social media. Is like what point, like,
do I not stop saying something?
You
right?
have to, you like what do you use? You know, and I just was, Twitter never really excited me. You know, Instagram just seems like the easiest one to promote because it's quick. You know, it's a picture and you get to do certain stuff with it, or a video.
And they have that link thing too, where at least you can post 2 at once, or you just like go to Facebook and to Instagram right away.
Yeah, and if my Instagram's set up to where whatever I post to Instagram goes to my Facebook and to my Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Simultaneously. So yeah, like I don't see a need for doing anything else. But yeah, YouTube. Find me on YouTube and Instagram best, and then sixsun.com. And then I'll be today's Sunday, right?
Sunday, 29th.
There's an open mic tonight that I'll be going to.
Yeah. I think Sam's gonna host that one tonight.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, because Royal was like, somebody want to host? If not, it's being canceled.
Oh really?
Yeah,
okay.
So Sam's gonna take over that one, I think.
Well, shout out to Royal. For Royal does a lot of
open mics.
I called him out, but
shout out
to step up his game. But I'm shouting him out, like, let's make 2020 a great year.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Troy,
Yeah.
Thank you for coming, man.
All right, thank you, brother.
We'll see you guys later. Make sure to subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Make sure to look out for a next podcast coming soon.
Wait. Also, I'll be at the Library Bar and Grill New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, right?
Yeah, for some award ceremony.
Yeah, that's like a big show. What's her name? Sean Dean
and Jamal.
Jamal putting on.
Yeah.
Cool. So, guys, make sure to look out for that. Again, check out sicksun.com. Troy Willson.
And then January 3rd, it's a Friday. Comics Strip is the show where comedians get as vulnerable as they want to with their material and their clothing. So,
yeah, guys, we'll see you.
Naked comedy.
Peace.